planting day.
Well, this morning we got some things watered and then got the cabbages all transplanted into the garden. And Willis and Little Man took care of weeding and getting the beds all ready.
And we have already gotten some stuff in the ground. Some of this we are going to wait and finish planting some of our transplants tomorrow whenever it's cooler in the morning again. But we have our cabbages right here in this row. We've got our lettuces in this row right here, and they're planted all the way down to about halfway here. We've got our peas that are already growing up here. We started them several weeks ago. All right, trial run. First run with the seeder.
Whoop, whoop. All right, here we go. Right on the edge.
I mainly want that front wheel to get traction because that's what's going to spin your disc on the inside.
Okay. Oh, I saw one drop. Hey, I see another one drop.
Cool, cool.
Another one drop. They're dropping them much closer though.
Yeah?
They're dropping them about every like 4 or 5 inches.
Okay.
So.
It looks like you may need to clear the front disc thing every once in a while.
There's like leaves getting caught up in it.
Yeah. You like it enough to keep using it?
As long as I'm watching it and knowing that it's actually dropping down, then the thing is sometimes I see it drop and sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, so it's not grabbing one every time.
And it's also not completely covering them up. So I'm still going to have to go back and cover when I'm done.
Yeah.
Exposed.
Gotcha.
So like planting them, yeah, I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to bend down and poke holes in it.
Right, that's good. Especially right now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely handy.
All right. Looks like fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go not use that and plant beans. Love you. Have fun.
Okay.
Hey, I'm here to bug you again.
All right. Cool. So I think the cedar probably would work great, but because I think maybe because it's a little bit older, it just needs cleaned up a bit, oiled down, because it was skipping and it was placing them like really far apart, the corn seeds. So I just decided to do it the way I know how to do it, and I took the end of a rake and just basically made a whole trench down the length of the bed, approximately the depth that I needed, and just went behind and about every 6 inches or so dropped a corn seed in. And so now I'm coming back and just covering it up. I have 4 rows done so far. We're probably going to do at least 8, maybe more if we have space. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
One row of beans done. We're gonna stagger our planting with the beans because we're doing bush beans this year, and we don't want bush beans tend to have a lot come on all at once, and we don't necessarily want all of them all 2 rows worth all at the same time. So we're gonna stagger them a week apart just to kind of elongate the growing season a little bit. So this week's row is done. Next week we'll get the other row in. I think there are 3 rows of corn done, which means there'll be 1 more row to do tomorrow. And we still have some extra seed, so I think we're actually going to do a little bit more, maybe fill in a couple more spots ish nearby with some more corn. So, fun stuff. Next few days are gonna be very busy doing a whole lot of this. So I think one of the next things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get some T-posts out and drive T-posts into the areas where the trellising is gonna go. We don't have all the cattle paneling to go up in those areas yet, but I can go ahead and put the T-posts in and have those ready to go when we do get the cattle paneling here, and then we can just put the cattle paneling up with the T-post already there. So good to go. All right, so we are on day 3 in planting things. We've got pretty much everything already in. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff already in. I'm not gonna say pretty much everything. All right, so we've got garden 1 done, except for the second planting of green beans and the flowers and herbs. And Winnie's gonna take care of the flowers and herbs probably later today, and she and the kids will knock that out later today. We've got garden 3 is still empty. We haven't done anything in garden 3 yet, but most everything that's going in garden 3 are gonna be the tomatoes and the peppers, and then we have some onions and carrots and flowers and things like that as well. Carrots would probably need to be in the ground. I might work on that here in just a little bit. But the tomatoes and peppers are still hardening off, so they're not quite ready to go in just yet, but they probably will be early next week, or middle of next week, whenever they finally get in the ground. And garden 2, right here behind me, has sort of shifted and changed from our original plan. The first row, farthest away from where we are right now, is gonna end up being all squash, and then almost the entire rest of it is gonna have corn of some kind in it. We're getting mostly sweet corn. We've got a little bit of popcorn we're gonna try to do this year, but then we're doing some companion planting under the corn, and we're gonna be doing some pumpkins and melons and just completely went out of my head. Varieties of melons, cantaloupe, some different things like that we'll also be doing around and at the base of the corn to help do ground cover and help take care of weeds under the corn, as well as being just there at the base of the corn. It'll help with the roots of the corn, actually, because corn roots actually do not go very deep. They kind of just spread wide, and corn can blow over really easy. So planting these other sprawling plants under them and around them can sometimes help hold them in place a little bit better, so that they don't fall over as easy in a strong wind. And we get some winds up here on our homestead. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and work on doing the pumpkins, corn, melons, and summer squash, winter squash, all that kind of stuff right now. So fun. All right, a week ago in very hot weather, we planted our first row of green beans. Now today, we are just barely in the 60s, which feels like freezing after it's been, up in the 90s for a couple weeks, and it just dropped down today after some rain. So I'm wearing my hoodie, and we're gonna go ahead and get the second row of green beans done, and then we'll probably be doing our transplants later today also. deep sigh. Everything is now in. So we are done putting things out in the garden. We have a week now just to kind of watch as things start to come up, keep an eye on weed control, and that's pretty much it. So it has been a great relief to have all of that in, and now just be watching everything come up. We've got quite a few things already starting to grow. We've got the peas coming up, we've got green beans that have come up, we've got corn that's come up, we've even had a few of the melons start popping their heads up, and all of the transplants pretty much are doing great. I think we lost maybe 1 or 2 tomato plants, but that was really it. So super excited to have everything in, and really looking forward to what God does with the garden and with our homestead this year. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up if you liked our video, subscribe, and share to anyone else you think might enjoy it. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon page for other ways that you might be able to help support our family. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Bye. See you later, people.
Cut.